11 seconds. That's how long the leaked Google demo lasted before it was scrubbed from the internet. 11 seconds of an AI doing something no other AI on Earth can do. Not ChatGPT, not Claude, not Grok, not OpenClaw. Its name is Remy. It launches May 19th, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why one OpenAI executive called it the thing we should have built 3 years ago. For the last 2 years, every AI company has been obsessed with the same boring question: whose chatbot is smarter? Benchmarks, leaderboards. Our model scored 94.2 on MMLU. Nobody outside of San Francisco cares. Your accountant doesn't care, your wife doesn't care, the guy fixing your boiler definitely doesn't care. Then in March, a small AI called OpenClaw went viral. Not because it was smart, but because it could do things: book flights, reply to emails, fill out forms while you slept. Suddenly, the entire industry remembered something they'd forgotten. People don't want a smarter encyclopedia, they want a butler. The OpenClaw founder was hired by OpenAI within 48 hours. Anthropic scrambled to build Orbit, and in Mountain View, an internal Slack channel lit up with a single message from a Google VP. "We already have this. We've had it for 8 months. Ship Remy." And here's the detail that should freeze you in your chair. While OpenClaw was the headline, Google had been quietly dogfooding Remy on its own 180,000 employees since last summer. By the time the world noticed agents existed, Remy had already processed more real-world tasks than every competitor on Earth combined. And the leaked internal metric is brutal. Remy already saves the average Google employee 11 hours per week. Multiply that by 180,000 people. Google didn't build a product, they built a time machine, and they're about to mass produce it. Now here's the joke nobody got. The name Remy isn't random. Internally, engineers picked it after the rat in Ratatouille, the tiny chef hiding under the hat, secretly running the kitchen while the human in front takes the credit. That is, almost word for word, Google's product philosophy. An AI you never see, doing the work you never noticed needed doing. Why Remy isn't a chatbot. Let me explain Remy with a story your IT guy will appreciate. Imagine you hire a personal assistant. On day 1, you have to explain who your boss is, where your files live, what your wife's email looks like, which clients are toxic, and where you keep the good whiskey. By month 6, that assistant just knows. You don't brief them anymore. They brief you. That is what every other AI on the market fundamentally cannot do. ChatGPT forgets you between sessions. Claude needs you to upload context like a medieval scribe. OpenClaw can act, but it's a stranger every morning. It has to log into your accounts, guess your preferences, and pray it doesn't accidentally email your ex. Remy starts on day 6, month 6, because Remy doesn't connect to Gmail, Calendar, Docs, Drive, Maps, YouTube, Search, Android, and Chrome. Remy was born inside them. Google has 18 years of your search history, every email you've sent since 2007, every place you've driven since 2013, and every video you've watched at 2 a.m. when you said you'd go to bed early. That is not a feature. That is a moat the size of the Atlantic Ocean, and OpenAI cannot dig across it. They can't buy it. They can't license it. They missed that boat in 2004. Put it differently, OpenAI is trying to build a brain. Google already built the nervous system and just woke it up. You don't install Remy. You discover he's been sitting at your desk the whole time, waiting for permission to start. Think about what that actually means in practice. Every other AI is essentially a brilliant amnesiac you rehire every morning. Remy is the assistant who's been quietly studying you for 2 decades and finally decided to introduce himself. The competition isn't behind. They're playing a different game entirely.
Here's where most YouTubers stop, but you came here for the part the tech press buried on page 9. 2 weeks ago, Google released something called Gemma 4 with multi-token prediction drafters. Sounds like a software patch. It's not. It's the thing that actually makes Remy possible. See, every AI you've ever used, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, all of them, generates text one word at a time, like an old man pecking at a keyboard with two fingers. Smart, sure. Fast? No. For a chatbot, that's fine. You wait 3 seconds, you get your answer. But for an agent that runs in the background, monitoring 8 apps, drafting 12 emails, and rebooking your flight while you're in the shower, one word at a time is a death sentence. The economics collapse. MTP drafters fix this with a magician's trick. A small, dumb model guesses the next 5 words. A big, smart model verifies all 5 at once. If they match, boom, 5 words for the price of 1. Up to 3.1x faster with 0 loss in quality. On a Pixel TPU, on a Samsung S23, on the chip in your fridge eventually. And here's the kicker the press completely missed. This isn't just faster, it's roughly 3 times cheaper to run per task. That single number is what flips an AI agent from expensive demo to free background utility on 2 billion Android phones. Speed is the headline, economics is the assassination. Translation: Google just made it economically viable to have an AI watching your inbox 24 hours a day for the rest of your life. OpenAI cannot match this without burning cash like a Roman emperor. Anthropic can't either. This is not a software war anymore. It's an infrastructure war, and Google has owned the infrastructure since before the iPhone existed. Now, to be fair, and I am ruthlessly fair, OpenAI is not asleep. GPT 5.5 Instant dropped quietly with numbers that should terrify Google's legal team. 52.5% fewer hallucinated claims, 37.3% fewer inaccuracies in medicine, law, and finance. That's not a model update. That's the difference between an AI that might sue you and one that probably won't. And Anthropic's Orbit, launching alongside the Code with Claude conference, is doing the same proactive briefing dance, just aimed at developers and product teams instead of grandparents trying to use Gmail. But notice the pattern. OpenAI is racing to make its hammer more accurate. Anthropic is engineering a finer wrench. Both are still selling you tools you have to pick up, open, and operate. Remy is the opposite philosophy, a tool that picks you up and starts working before you've even finished your coffee. Here's the brutal truth, and I'll say it slowly so the comment section can scream at me later. OpenAI is selling you a better hammer. Anthropic is selling you a smarter wrench. Google is quietly building the house, the plumbing, the electricity, and the front door key, and then asking if you'd like an AI butler to live in it. The butler is free. The butler already knows your name and already knows your search history. What this means for you? If you're 35 to 65, run a business, or manage anything more complex than a Netflix queue, write this down. The window for "I'll just use ChatGPT for everything" is closing. By Google I/O on May 19th, Remy goes public. The day it does, 3 things happen overnight. Every Android phone on Earth becomes an autonomous agent. Every Gmail account becomes a 24/7 employee. And every business that built workflows on third-party AI tools wakes up to find Google did it natively for free. This is the same playbook that killed Internet Explorer with Chrome, killed MapQuest with Maps, killed Yahoo with Search. They don't out-innovate, they out-integrate. And by the time the competition notices, the war is already over. So watch for Remy on May 19th. Watch the OpenAI stock chatter the day after, and ask yourself one honest question. When an AI butler shows up at your door, already knowing your calendar, your contacts, your taste in coffee, and your last 17 years of search history, are you going to say no? Drop a comment below. Remy or ChatGPT?